Do you guys have your coffee, amigas? All right. Good morning, Victoria. Congratulations on this journey. I was being a little chismosa in your profile, and you are so beautiful, Victoria. I just really hope you know that and you can see that and you can see the value in you first. And that when we are taking this big decision of getting a bariatric or any weight loss surgery, that you are doing this for you and not because of someone else. Okay, so this is just like a 10-minute video. I don't think I'll be able to get like a lot of detail into it, but my journey has been amazing. It started back in early 2023. And after going to my first appointment, they do tell you, they have like a whole bunch of questions. I'm not sure how they do it in other clinics, but mine was typically like the first appointment. They weigh you, they ask you all your medical history, and they kind of just ask you, like, is there one in specific that you were thinking of, like a bariatric procedure? Honestly, my question, like, my answer was like, no, because I didn't know there was more than one. I didn't know how it worked. So she explained to me, and she said I was the best candidate for gastric sleeve. Um, it is to known that bypass is for heavier people, and I was only at, no lie, maybe 216 or a little bit under that. So she did tell me like I was there but not there. So I knew there was a lot more appointments coming, and also I had to be seeing my PCP so they can write and they can do all the paperwork also for insurance to get it approved. So I did intentionally gain weight just so I can actually be approved because, girl, I only had to gain like just a couple of pounds more to actually be there. But yo me pasé, I gained like maybe 10 pounds more, I want to say, because I was like 224, my heaviest. She explained to me that I was best candidate for the gastric sleeve, and she mentioned that I would be very successful with the gastric sleeve. Also, they do explain how the procedure is done. The risk was obviously rare, but can happen, and it's just their job for them to tell you that it can even cause death. Now, she did tell me she didn't want to scare me, but that's just something they do have to go ahead and medically say because things can go wrong and that can be something that can happen. So you do need to agree if you want bariatric. So hearing that just really scared me. The procedure paused for months because I was scared. I felt like I was being selfish. I felt like I wasn't loving my body, like I wasn't happy with God creation, like what He made. There was a lot playing in my head. There was a lot going on in my life. After months passed, it was just an awakening. Um, I remember, let me just track back a little bit. Before bariatric procedure, the conversations with God was always crying out of, I am so tired of being this weight. I am so tired of being judged. And I was judged by my closest. Yeah, so that hurt a lot. I avoided being around them. I avoided being around other people, because that's when the comparison would come, the judgmental comments would come. Honestly, it got to the point where I avoided going to church, and I love going to church, but I avoided going to church because of my weight, of my appearance, how I felt. I felt like I would dress up and just not feel pretty. I didn't feel comfortable in my clothes. I did not feel comfortable in my own body. I didn't feel comfortable in my own image. There was a time where I felt like I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I avoided looking at myself even in the mirror. So there was so many numerous of conversations with the Lord. And I did not know nothing about bariatric until one time, randomly, I land in a hospital job. I get to have insurance there, good insurance, because I work for the hospital, and obviously all my providers are in network, so it's cheaper. And a coworker tells me about this other coworker about bariatric, and I was like, what is bariatric? So I asked, and then I me atreví question the coworker, like, hey, I heard this. And she was so sweet to be able to tell me about it. And that's where it all started. And I do believe that the Lord put me there and opened this opportunity for me to be able to get my bariatric surgery. I looked up my receipts from the procedure, and the cost of my procedure in total was $80,000, a little bit over $80,000. Girl, I did not even pay 50%, 40% of that, not even a third. So yeah, I am very grateful, because I don't think I would ever in a million years, without landing in a hospital, being able to get insurance from there, I probably would have never got bariatric or know about bariatric, probably. So the Lord just like put everything into place, everything to, I just never really thought either that I was gonna go to my consult and then actually be able to start the procedure from there, because I have heard that it's a hard it's hard to get in. It's hard to be able to be referred to. I did not go to my PCP and talk to her about my weight and for her to refer me to bariatric, because usually that's what happens. I called the bariatric clinic and I'm like, hey, I need a consult. When can I get in? They did it right away. And from there, it was just like, well, just talk to your PCP. And when I talked to my PCP, she was like, yep, that's what you want. She signed everything. She she did extra writing and notes and everything just for me to get approved. But then once again, the thoughts in my head really got to me. Was I being selfish? Am I going to die? I started following all these bariatric girlies, looking them up, looking up their journeys, seeing what they were eating, how they felt, how was mostly the procedure after, like how they felt after procedure, the cut, and then I started following in Facebook my community bariatric. That was the downfall. But go to part 2 if you guys want to keep hearing this, because it's almost done here.